Okay, hello everyone. Before we get into this one, I just wanted to explain quickly, we're changing it a bit. So it's going to go from being a series to a short film. Just because I feel like at this current point, in terms of the company, just even the idea of having a full-on series is just a bit excessive. So I think we're going to turn the start, what I've written here so far, we're going to round it off in a way that's compelling and attracts the audience, but we're also gonna make it a short film instead of a series because hear me out, where the company's at the minute, the company is essentially just me right now. So I cannot afford to make $1 billion Netflix style. Not that I'd ever do it Netflix style, but that style. Well, no, not that style, but you know what I'm saying, right? I cannot afford that. Yeah, end of. So here's the actual plan. The actual plan is we write a short, we get the locations, I do scene sketches, outfit sketches, contact whoever the fuck I know. I'm trying not to swear so hard in these, I don't know if you can tell, but it keeps coming out. But we're going to do all that, and then we're going to try and find some locations or something and film it, and I'll have to just pay out of my personal pocket. And then business-wise, it's not a smart idea, but you know what? Hey, I want to make I need to make something, right? So that's the new plan. But yeah, that was all. So that was just gonna quickly throw that in there before this video starts. But so yeah, thank you. I don't know what the fuck I did that, but thank you for watching. Enjoy the video. Oh, okay, I can speak now. Right, sweet. Love to have my voice back. I was losing my voice. Okay. Okay, right. Dylan. We're going to cut back to Dylan in the first scene. In the sixth scene. We're going to cut back to Dylan for this first shot of the sixth scene. So, cut back to Dylan in his classroom. In the same classroom. Intensely staring at... Not intensely, that's too extreme. Probably like fidgety, I don't know, stressfully, anxiously looking, not fidgety, but you know when someone's like you can tell they're like, what's the word, when they're like braced, not braced, but like, yeah, like, you know when they're tensely, I don't know, what the fuck is the word, tensely, that's not a word. Intent. How the fuck do you spell intense? Intently. No. Intensely. There we go. That's how you spell that. Right. So he's gonna be intensely looking at the clock, so that will just sort of tell the audience, you know, he's still in the same situation. But then the bell rings, so, because now it's a short, so otherwise I would have cut the last scene, truthfully, because I reread it. I didn't like it too much in terms of if it was in there in a series, because I thought it wouldn't actually hold much purpose, but in a short, it sort of just develops the story. I don't know how else to word it, because the story's shorter. It's sort of telling a different story through the details of the story, not necessarily through the characters. Because it's a short. I'm not sure if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. I don't know the best way of explaining that. But yeah, the bell rings. He's going to run outside. He runs outside and meets his friend. What's a friendly name? Oh, I can't think of another name that begins with D. That can't happen. What name? Something like, I don't know, like Harry or Jacob or... No, I'm just listing people that I know. Hold on. Who's a friendly person? What's a friendly name? He meets his friend George. We're gonna call him George. I know I've completely stolen that out of my own other piece, but I don't care enough to change it. Truthfully, I like the name George. I don't know why. He's looking at his friend. I don't like the name George. I take it back. Runs outside and meets his friend. Let's just call him friend. He meets friend 2 from. Did we give them names earlier? Oh no, it's friend 1, 2, and 3. Oh sweet. But yeah, right. So he meets friend 2. Wait, which one had the bike? Or did I not write that yet? And I'm just imagining things. Actually, because they walk through the thing, we're just gonna imagine that the bike rack. We're gonna have to add something here. We're gonna have to add another scene where he goes and gets it off the bike rack. Okay, so he's gonna run outside and meet his friend 2. This is gonna right. Let's just say this is a summary. Right. Why is that there? Summary. Why can I not spell today? Summary. Crikey. Cut back to Dylan in the same classroom. That's gonna happen a lot in it. That's gonna keep happening. It's fine for now. I don't know why I did that. It's fine for now. Turned into like a member of the cast of Cats. So he's going to cut back to Dylan in the same classroom, intensely looking at the clock. The bell rings. He runs outside and meets his friend 2. His friend. We're just going to write his friend, and then in brackets we're going to put friend 2. Okay, so he's going to meet friend 2. Who has a bike. And yeah, if you're an audience member and you're going to watch that and you go, oh, he didn't have a bike earlier, it's because it's on the bike rack. This is going to be outside. So we're just going to intensity at the clock, bell rings, he runs outside the front entrance to their college and meets his friend 2 who has a bike. Dylan. No, I can't have him shout friend 2. I need to think of a name. Of people. Look, I just need names. A list of long names. Just names. List of regular names. Henry. That works. There we go. Dylan. Have I used Henry before? I feel like I've used that name before. Where have I used the name Henry? Henry. I recognise that name, I don't know why. I don't think I've ever actually met a Henry. Dylan is going to shout Henry. Actually, I think there was a kid in my primary school called Henry. I don't know. Dylan is going to shout Henry. Henry. Oh, I've done that. Funny. Henry is going to turn around. Turn around. Turns around. What did he say earlier? Because I want them to sort of say the same thing. Friend 2 said yo, I did think that. Henry turns around. Yo. Because I want them to sort of have the same, their own individual sort of, I'm saying it, I'm not developing it into a long thing anymore, but you never know. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to quite look yet, but we're going to have to figure that one out. We're going to need to do a shot list. I don't want to do that, truthfully. But I will. I just can't be bothered. So, turns around. Yo. That doesn't need to be bold. Neither does that. Henry turns around and shouts, yo. I'm so tired, sorry. Dylan. Any chance? It's just sounding like me. This is the problem. I like, for some reason, all the main characters, because I have to try and think of how they'd make the choices, sometimes I just get confused with my own brain. I don't know how else to... So I'm like, well, the logical thing to do in this situation would be to do this. But that's not me. That's me. Like, you know what I mean? So I write it like that. Or like what they'd say. It's always how I would reply. I don't know why. It's just a weird way so I need to keep getting out of this habit. I'm just going to go over what I originally wanted to do. Any chance I could borrow your bike for the rest of the day? I'm not going to add bro just simply because that word, I don't know why, every time I'm watching something and I hear the word bro, it just throws me out. I was debating it because they're like bros, but it's also like, Henry, what? What? No. What? No. Absolutely not. Most undoubtedly. No, I can't write that. That's too funny. Wait, is that even a phrase, or have I made that up? Most undoubtedly. Most undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. What's the word? How the fuck? Undoubtedly. Oh, I did. Oh, so it was undoubtedly. Or am I just making words up? Undoubtedly. That doesn't sound right. Undoubtedly. What does that even mean, actually? Or am I just saying things that no, I'm not writing that. What am I talking about? What do we want to add? What's... I want something sort of amusing, but not amusing. Undoubtedly not. That sounds amusing, does it not? Because it's going to throw anyone off guard, I swear. I feel that. Or it's just going to come across as cringe. I don't know. What way would it come across? I don't know. Because I don't want it to be like... completely throw you out. No, we're doing it. Undoubtedly not. Actually, we need to Google what that word means first. Because that might just be a double negative meaning. Without a doubt. So certainly not. Yeah, okay. That's quite funny. I like that. I don't know why I find that funny. I just do. Certainly not. Undoubtedly not. Okay, so what do we want to write next? For a fiver. I think that sort of conversation gives the impression that they've also been friends for a while. Like they're chill with each other, like they see each other outside of school and shit, or college or whatever it's called. Henry. Oh, for fuck's sake, fine. Cheers. No, that's sounding too much like me. Hold on. Oh, I've got to sit for a minute. My legs are hurting. I've been at work all day. My legs are killing. I'm a gardener. I've been walking up and down all bloody day. I know you can only see the top of my head, but I've got to sit. Cheers. Starts running off. He's running off, and he goes, "Oh, is the combination still like 4, 5, 6 or whatever?" And then Henry goes, "Yeah." And then he comes to the realization that it's just shouted across the thing. He's gonna go, "Oh, fucking," but not anymore. Actually, no, because I hate it. I hate it when characters talk to themselves out loud. Because truthfully, I don't think many people do this. I know that people do talk to themselves. I talk to myself out loud, but not in like public settings. No one fucking does that in public settings. I swear to you. Like unless you're like tripping balls. Actually, I don't know. There are a lot of people tripping balls nowadays, aren't there? So I suppose so. But I don't know. But yeah, he's gonna start. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not having that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Cheers. Cheers. The combinations still the same. Henry. Ooh, Henry. He's gonna say yeah. No, I can't add cheers. I'm gonna have to put that as thanks because otherwise, like, it does just sound like me too much. Not that this character is based on me in any way, shape, or form. I'm just like it's just the way my brain works. I've always been told this. The main characters in my things always sound like me for some reason, just the way they talk. I really tried to break away from that when I was writing Duncan for Left or Right though, because he obviously is a psychopath, so he's not gonna sound like me because I'm not a psychopath. But like that sort of them phrases that I use, like cheers, and like I say cheers a lot. Like so, I noticed that I also write it a lot, like when I'm texting and stuff. So then when it comes to writing, because that's a word that's normally quite fresh in my mind, I'm like, cheers, and I just write it. And it's sort of like a subconscious thing, I think. I just sort of subconsciously write characters as if it's me talking. And bloody hell, I don't know why I find it so tiring to, like, unless they're extremely opposite to me, I compare them to myself in my head to write the experience. And I don't know if that's a good way of writing. I don't know if that's a healthy way of writing. But a lot of the time, but I feel like you need that for creativity. You have to have experiences and emotion and your own self into it. Otherwise, first of all, what makes it yours? And second of all, where the fuck is the creative? Like, where are you supposed to draw creativity from if not that? Do you understand what I mean? I know there's imagination, but you do also have to know, like, have knowledge on things, which means you also have to have experienced things, right? I mean, the best movies are always the ones based on true stories and true experiences and true people's lives, right? Again, not that this is based on me or my life in any way, shape, or form. But like, that's always the thing that's bothered me, like, if you because a lot of, with acting, for example, people say, oh, you're not supposed to draw it from your own experiences, and that's true because it is technically just repetition and trying to not force, but like gradually with each rehearsal, each bit of research, each bit of this and that, whatever, slowly you apply it to your rehearsals and to your character, and knowing that information and getting into each, like, into more things every time. But writing, no, sorry, when you're acting, that's said to be unhealthy, especially the people that go over the top, like method actors, like Christian Bale, or who's the other one? No, it was Christian Bale. He was the guy that, like, I can't remember the film he done, but he was like ridiculously skinny, and I think he played someone with some sort of disorder. I'm not gonna try and guess what because I have no idea, but he went from that to playing Batman, and he was like super buff, right? So, but then again, that's not really. That's method acting, but that's also not method acting. They're sort of getting ready for a role to an extent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to play Spider-Man, not that you couldn't play Spider-Man, but you'd have to probably get in a better shape if you were not in the correct shape that the casting director wants for their. If you don't have the right body figure that the casting director wants for their character, they won't hire you. So if you want it that bad, not saying to do it, but actors have been known to change their body for roles. But again, I don't necessarily know if that's healthy, because in a lot of terms it's either you fit the role or you don't, right? So, I'm going off topic completely, but it's like, why am I actually asking the camera? Right, let me just do. Writers, are there method writers? What is a method? Because I guarantee it's a thing. Someone would label themselves as a method writer. Someone's bound to do it by now. Thus, method writing is a technique a writer uses to get under the skin of a character and identify with their emotions and struggles. Method writing promotes empathy and genuine reactions over scripted, planned stories with fixed outlines and goals. What does that fucking mean then? Authentic, coming from one's true inner voice, whether your interest is fiction, poetry, memoir. What does that mean? Like your own. You're right. Wait, what? So you haven't come up with a plan? Is basically what it's saying. You're just writing, or is it? Method writing promotes empathy and genuine reactions over scripted planned stories. So yeah, technically what I'm doing. Shit, guys, I'm a method writer. Didn't realise that. So, I say guys as if there's not like just two of you watching, but I'm just going to keep doing it anyway. Well, I can't remember where it was at all now. Where were we? Combination of saying, yeah. Dylan. Awesome. I don't like that word. I'll take that back. Cool. I'm just going to keep it sweet and simple. Cool. I haven't been putting any punctuation in. Okay, I like that. That's sounding good. Cool. Now how do we want this to be shot? You know what? I don't want to say it because I don't like it, but it's gonna have to be that over the shoulder shot in it for this sort of conversation, because otherwise it just comes. Or could we have them moving? I want them moving. No, do I? I kind of want him. No, because originally I wanted him standing there with the bike, but then I realised that in the what they're talking about, it doesn't make sense with that. So, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? How do we want it to look? 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 Actually, you know what we're going to do? Cut back to Dylan in the same classroom, intensely looking at the clock. Bell rings. Intensely looking. Okay. Cut back to Dylan in the same classroom. Intensely looking at the clock. Cut back to Dylan. Okay, hold on. Cut back to Dylan. So we kind of want that to be cut back to Dylan. We're gonna have a closer shot. Cut back to Dylan. Cut to a cut to a close shot of Dylan's eyes. Then to a close up shot of a clock. And I reckon the clock, obviously if you have a real clock, that's sweet. But if not, stock footage is a thing though. Could I not just find that and colour grade it to save myself work? And it would look just as good, if not better. Unless I can't find the specific thing I'm looking for. Or it just completely doesn't match that. But I feel like you could find one that does. With like stuff like clocks and like alarm bells and... what are they called? You know, the American school bells. I guess that's what they're called, school bells. Like, I feel like you could find that stuff. I don't know if... I don't know if you're allowed to, actually. Because you don't own... Do you? If you get stock footage... Could you just act like, because technically you haven't employed, say you done it stock footage of like a person. I'm assuming it's different because that's a person, right? But surely you'd have to hire them as an actor, or would you hire the footage from whoever owned the footage? But then they'd need to make sure. Then they need to make sure that it's fine with everyone else, or is, sorry, I'm choking. Or is it because it's already owned by a company? So say you've got like stockfootage.com, right? And I went and done a job for stockfootage.com, and they had a picture of me or a video of me walking up to a desk and shaking someone's hand. And then some other director doing exactly what I'm doing right now, or like writer, or I don't know what the fuck I am, but hear me out. Then use that footage and put it on a green screen background, and they had a green screened in floor or whatever. And they walked past the desk and looked back forward at my character in the background. Does that person then are they technically an extra because they're in the movie, or are they just technically an asset and therefore not credited because the credit would go to the company stockfootage.com? I don't know. I'm waffling, but I don't know if you could use stock footage, or if I'd actually have to go out my way to try and buy an American alarm clock and then put it on a wall. Shot of the clock. Cut to a front shot of Dylan, a backwards moving tracking shot of Dylan. That's what I want, right? I think. Hello. So I messed up. I've lost, I don't know how, it's vanished. It's absolutely just vanished off the face of the earth, right? I've lost the last 19 minutes of the video. So actually I'm filming on the wrong thing, so I was just gonna sort of say that this is the end of the video because I don't have it, but actually that won't make sense in the next video. No, we'll go over it in the next video. We'll go over the next scene in the next video because I don't want to do it right now. I don't want to set this camera up again right now. I just don't want to. So in the next video, we'll go over the rest of the scene. I'll catch you up. We'll talk about the way it looks and why. And I'll talk through everything. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did like the abrupt ending. I don't know. But thank you for watching either way. It is much appreciated. Whoever is actually sitting down watching these videos, I do appreciate it. Because I actually really love making them. It was really fun. But yeah,
cheers for watching. And go check out the Instagram account for more stuff.